Alright, ladies and gentlemen, once again, as you all know the voice behind the camera, my name is Eric Lovely, and this is a presentation, an interview today at the Restore the Constitution rally, August 14th, 2010. And I am the host of the Lions Den radio show. And as you all know, I'm a constitutional hardliner, as I like to talk about. But today, as we have received many emails, your favorite speakers, in case you don't know the man's face who's in front of you, we got Bob Wright here with us, and he's one of the founders of. I know that you were intricate into getting some of the speakers and stuff here today, and this is just an on-the-fly interview, ladies and gentlemen. It's not structured at all, and what we're doing is we're basically asking some key questions and getting the feedback directly from the gentlemen and the ladies themselves, and of course, we had to get this one because, I mean, as everybody loves and knows Doc at Sacramaniac MC, you listen to his intro. In case you've been under a rock and you don't know it, this is the voice that you hear. Thank you and welcome to the Watchman.biz today. And, tell us a little bit about yourself first before you get hot and rolling.
Well, my name's Bob Wright. I live here in beautiful New Mexico. I too am a constitutional hardliner. And this will be my second participation in a Restore the Constitution rally. I was at the original there in Gravely Point and right outside of Washington, D.C. I'm very proud to be doing this one here in New Mexico. Very proud of Dr. Seidel. He's put together, I think, what's going to be a pretty good rally. And I always feel good when I'm surrounded by patriots who love my country and my Constitution.
Well, that is, it's about as amazing as it gets, but let's dig a little deeper because our listeners know that you are definitely not short on words, and you are a man of real passion. And we, as I said in some of the other interviews, and you guys hear it all the time, me and Doc pretty much run with this mantra. There are doers, and then there's talkers. Okay, and the people that we're interviewing today, especially like Bob here, I consider to be at the top of the doers list. So, in your own personal feelings, not a storyboard, what really comes from the heart, why are you here today?
Well, I'm here today for a number of reasons at different levels, actually. I'm here on a macro scale because I, like so many other people in this country, fully recognize the danger that our freedoms are in. And our freedoms are in danger because of a government that's gone astray. And when I say they've gone astray, I say that they no longer adhere to the limitations that were put upon them by our Constitution. Okay? So that's one reason I'm here, because I think that we're seeing an evolution in American politics right now. We have seen the paradigm in America shift, where for almost a whole generation, the quote conservatives have not taken to the streets, have not raised their voice. They've tried to work through the process, and I think we're now at a point where we've had it. And we're going to raise our voice, and we're going to stand up, and we're going to demand. And that's what's happening here today. I want everybody to understand, this is not a gun rally. This rally is not about guns. But what these guns that everybody's going to wear represent is the true badge of the free man. That he can bear arms in defense of himself without permission from anyone. And that's what these arms represent. But the rally itself is about restoring the whole Constitution, about returning constitutional government not only to ourselves, but hopefully to our children. All of us recognize at this point that because of inaction, because of inattention, because of just being too doggone conventional, we have allowed the politicians of this country to rob our children, rob them of the prosperity that we've known, rob them of the opportunities that we've enjoyed. My children will never be as prosperous as I am, and that's something I don't think can be changed now. And the reason that has happened is because we have a federal government that has absolutely disregarded every constitutional limitation put upon them. Some of it is ignorance. Many of these elected officials are not evil men, but they are what Lenin described as the useful idiots. Those who will do the work of tyranny would never know they're working for tyranny. We've come to a point now in America where we're waking up. We're watching this wonderful evolution as people rediscover liberty, as they rediscover what it is, that Constitution. See, one of the sad things is that in 30 years, the constitutional debates in this country have been about pornography. They've been about everything but essential rights. And while these debates were going on these other issues, we were losing essential rights. We had a government that has come to establish. Remember, everybody's seen that Pete Stark video where he says we can do pretty much what we want to. And you know the man's telling the truth. They have done pretty much what they want to. But we're here to tell them that those days are over. The other thing that I hope this is going to, another reason that I'm here, is I want to start seeing all the patriots start pulling together. We have got to unite. And one of the things that we must come out of these things is we must submit to the idea of unity. Unity must become our battle cry. Because I'm telling you, if we unite, if we put together that common face and we're willing to back it up with a coercive force that our forefathers enshrined in that Constitution, we're unbeatable and unstoppable. And liberty will be restored here. And those essential freedoms that our fathers fought for and died for will again come into our possession. And this time, we will treasure them, and we will pass them on to our children as we should. Another reason I'm here is I got grandkids. I went to school orientation the other day that horrified me with its tenor, with its absolute seeming drive to have a child comply. But not only the children, the parents, telling the parents how they will behave. You know, and this is just another low-level bureaucracy, but they've jumped on this whole tyranny bandwagon. We have to put a stop to it. Tyranny is everywhere in the country. We live in a tyranny right now that George III never dreamed of. George III, in his wildest imagination, has never thought that he could charge a man a tax to build a house on his own land. Never. We live in a level of tyranny that is our founding fathers would have been shocked at and wondered why they fought so hard if we were just going to give it away. But God be praised, it does appear that the country is waking up. And what we're seeing here, I mean, you look around, you know, this is not some radical anything. These are the salt of the earth people here. They're the people who make America work. And you know what? They're here to restore that Constitution. I think that's what's going to happen. I know that's what's going to happen. I mean, I don't want to get too radical here. But everybody that's listening to this, everybody that's going to be here today, and every politician running in this land need to understand this. The Constitution will be restored. The only question at this point is how rough do we have to get to make sure that happens? You know, and too many of our people seem to think that, you know, all of this depends on whether somebody signs a UN treaty or this, that, or the other thing. I say sign them. Hell, I'll lend you the pen. But you come to take my freedoms, I'm going to kill you.
And with that being said, I mean, that it's just every time I hear you, I'm blown away and amazed. But I guess what I want right at the end is, let's say that us here watching in the camera today is a complete green newcomer, new boot, who knows that maybe something's wrong, as we call it. They're coming into their awakening. If you had 60 seconds with that individual, what message would you deliver to them?
The message that I would deliver to them is one: there is no magic bullet for this thing. What it's going to take is a lot of hard work on the parts of patriots and an absolute, as Adam said, an irate minority of people constantly agitating to light the brush fires of freedom. That's what it's going to take. It's not going to be an easy job. You're not going to be able to continue with some form of normal life. You're going to have, if you want back the freedoms your fathers fought and died for, then you're going to have to get out and fight for them. And that means every day, all day. It means like myself and so many of these other people do, our vacations are scheduled around events where we can promote the Constitution, militia training exercises, these type of things. You have to get in. You have to be willing to do the sweat work. And you have to understand that there's no magic bullet out there that is going to save us. No legal solution that requires the cooperation of the tyrants we're trying to depose. Now, you want to hold it?
Well, the only thing I want to do left really is you can close in a little bit so we can hear you. You can come closer to the camera and I'll just get you a little more up here. Is that, you know, a lot of people ask us, because people, you know, they amalgamate towards passion, towards men of conviction, which I don't care what anybody says, any detractor, I'm willing to say that you're probably one of the men of passion that even I look up to and enjoy. As you know, I know a lot of people out there send me emails and they're always trying to pat me on the back and tell me that I'm doing a wonderful job. Well, This is one of the guys that I pat on the back and I say is doing the right thing and I say is doing the work, whether he wants to shake his head or not. But a lot of people have asked, is there, if you could, before we go, are there any radio stations or web addresses or places where they can go? Do you have a YouTube, any type of outlet that you may be looking to do that people can follow you?
I don't, and I need to come into the 21st century. But people need to understand, I'm nobody special. I am a busted up old New Mexico cowboy. That's what I am. But I have a love for my country, and I believe my country is worth fighting for. And you know, for too long in this country, we've let them tell us that patriotism comes with a federal paycheck, and it doesn't. And the fight isn't always overseas.
Well,
and we all must become soldiers in the cause of liberty, all of us. And we must be willing to make those sacrifices, spend that money, take that time, do without in order to see that this liberty succeeds in this country and that we do pass it on to our children and our grandchildren. We have a moral obligation to do so. To be the generation that fails, to be the generation who's been handed the opportunity to stand with the great men of all of history. Because what we're standing for is the purest and most beautiful thing of all things, and that's human liberty. If we fail there, then may all the succeeding generations curse us forever and ever. Because it is our opportunity. We have the talent, we have the people, we have what it takes. All we have to do is develop the will to put all that together and give back to our people what has already been paid for in blood.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, I'm gonna step around here for a second over here because, you know me. My show is about logic. I use logic. I think through the law. But man, you're gonna make me cry. And I haven't been teary-eyed. Man, the last time I lost a man under my command was about the last time that I shed a tear. And I just want to appreciate it. And all of you guys out there, we're gonna get this gentleman onto the station and do some interviews. Even if I got to hunt him across the New Mexican desert, I will find him. We'll get him out there because these are the representations. These are the passions that I always talk about. These are the people, when I tell you to get behind people, to get behind the doers, he doesn't want it. That doesn't matter. Great men most of the time are forced into the position themselves by people to follow them. And I'm not saying that he has to be that way, but I'm saying if you can take an example, if you can watch the video, share it with your friends, because this is what we're talking about. Whether you want the pat on the back or not, this is what we're talking about, ladies and gentlemen. This is what Doc and I talk about constantly. We want to thank you for your time today.
You bet. Thank you. Thank you guys for being here.
Absolutely.
Give everybody a chance to get kind of settled in here for a while.